Hey, Jack, how's your day going aside from, getting the same questions over and over and over again?
Darren, thank you. It's going good. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you. Let's first talk about Detective Night. So many interesting things about this production that, for example, they knew, hey, we want to make multiple movies of this. This is a franchise. Most films kind of have to wait to find out if they're franchise worthy. How did you first find out about Detective Night and the related series?
Well, it was kind of a dream situation of getting a phone call saying, Jack, we want you to star in this movie with Bruce Willis and it shoots tomorrow. And can you get on a plane? And I was like, yeah, let's go. And and I, I'd been familiar with some of the franchise before, but we wanted to do something different with this, and we knew that Bruce would deliver in the action star department. So for me, it was just focusing on the character and getting to work.
When you mentioned the plane and getting on it for tomorrow, was it entirely done for you in Vancouver?
It was done in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and
Oh,
yeah,
got it. Early into the pandemic, I had the pleasure of interviewing your sister, and she hit me to the family's history with New Mexico. And now it's normal to see, hey, Netflix has their facility there and Breaking Bad film there, and Mark Maron talks endlessly about being from New Mexico. But when did you
yeah,
start to notice that it had its real own industry?
totally. Well, a lot of people don't know my dad was such a big part of that industry in New Mexico and get bringing work there and growing up, we had a ranch and then we would be on location all around New Mexico and every western town and gully, and the crews there have are really strong. They have grown up. A lot of them, some are from, NMU, some are from
Mhm.
just got into it and have their own production companies out there now, and they're shooting all over the country and bringing work to New Mexico, which is an awesome thing because, yeah,
It's awesome to see that industry can be anywhere where the town or the city or the county or the state goes, here's a tax credit. We'd love to have you here.
yeah,
Uh,
totally. There's some good tax incentives to go there and shoot. It's in a time right now. The industry in New Mexico is in a time right now where a lot of people should be shooting there because it's not always going to be this good to shoot there, and yeah, I can imagine it being a small Atlanta at some point.
hmm.
Um, but yeah, New Mexico is very unique because it's very hard. It's still like Santa Fe is like the old one of the oldest railroad stops in the country, and it's very difficult to do stuff there because of the terrain.
Right.
And it's like the Wild West still in a lot of ways, and that looks great on camera, but it's also like it's part of the comes with the territory of shooting out there where you're like there's no one around for miles and it's we're out here in the middle of nowhere you
Well,
know
speaking to your versatility, I know about your musical background and Glimmer and DJing and playing Ozzy in the music video and being in the
yeah.
black metal film and all that. It's cool to see that you have in your past nature, but also
Mhm.
punk rock, that
Yeah.
you're kind of diverse in your interests.
Oh, Darren, I love that you said that because that is definitely a huge part of my identity, and I consider them to be together. Nature and punk rock are very much a part of me, and um, yeah, punk rock being that DIY spirit of just making music and all the time and being creative and yeah, and the spiritual side of that being like roots in New Mexico and spending a lot of time out there just wandering around and riding horses and stuff. And yeah, I'm really blessed to be have those things in my life, you know.
Well, to me, this is a new movie. To you, it's not such a new movie. And going through your IMDb, we see great voice work that you've done. And hey, you've popped up on Law and Order, that kind of stuff. Are you allowed to say what's coming up for you next?
What's coming up? Yeah, it's always tricky to talk about what's coming up next because life of an actor is so, unstable at times. I'm working on a ton of music of my own I want to release, that will be coming out in the next year or so. I've got other film projects that I'm gonna do in April, May, and yeah, unfortunately, I can't really like talk about them at this point. But you'll be seeing some stuff from me come out. I've been the last couple years I've been unique, like with the pandemic and everything, and doing like working on that documentary with my dad.
Yeah. Which you
Um,
narrated, which very well acclaimed piece of work you did there. So congratulations.
yeah, and off of that, like my both my parents are in the new TV show Willow,
Mhm.
directed by John Kasdan, and he after the pandemic and after that documentary Val and everything, I was emailing with John Kasdan and we were talking about doing something with Willow, and I ended up being able to help out um, on some of that
Mhm.
TV show, like doing some narration in that show, like helping my dad out and helping out John, and we got to sit around and talk about like the whole legacy of it, and so it's been a cool couple of years to be able to like connect with my family in that way, and to like honor some of the legacy and some of the stuff that my parents have done, you know.
Yeah.
So definitely watch that TV show Willow. It's pretty epic, yeah.
The last thing I want to ask you about before I let you go, you mentioned that you are working on new music. And having worked at such a high level in the film and television worlds, a lot of times actors, they kind of do music as the for fun thing on the side. They're not trying to get the major label deal. In your
Yeah.
case, are you chasing the major label deal, or is it just this is the passion play, you put it out yourself and you're not really in the industry, you're just doing it because you enjoy it?
Right. Well, I've definitely protected a lot of the kind of purity of making music over the years, but I'm not so concerned with that anymore. I think, I would love to win a Grammy or be up there with whoever's hot right now. And I tend to these days with both music and with films, I tend to think of it all as just one creative outlet, and a means to express myself, and I try to just be true to that and follow that because there's been less opportunities for me with music, um, because I come from like a DIY kind of scene,
Mhm.
and that's all right. I'm fine with that, and I'm just excited to be doing stuff. But yeah, it's all just we're just having a laugh. It's all fun, and yeah.
So keep checking the Instagram and all that, and that's how we'll find out about the next movie projects and the new music.
Definitely check the Instagram, um, at Jack Kilmer, and um, absolutely, yeah, follow up with that. Just yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time, Jack, and looking forward to whatever's next, including that music.
Appreciate it, Darren. Thank you. That was fun. Yeah.
Paltrocast.